Hit record. Go.
It's been recording.
Oh, shit.
Let them love you, Eugene.
Hi, and welcome to Geno's Picks. Where Kid Mediocre wrapped up a ho-hum season with what else? A 2-2 record that left me 37-35, 51% against the spread, meaning if you bet $10, we love this, right? One of my games, you won 370, lost 385 for a loss of $15 on the year, but over the span of 72 games, you would have lost about 21 cents a game, which comes to pennies a laugh, not to mention with gas prices down well over 21 cents a gallon, you need that money about as much as a Minnesota protester needs a hole in the head. I checked. She's still fucking dead. Please, anyone that watched the fall of Minneapolis telling how Mayor Jacob Fry sacrificed an entire precinct in favor of a repeat criminal who OD'd on fentanyl knows this was inevitable, as opposed to the fall of Minneapolis Part 2, which was the moment the Vikings opted for J.J. McCarthy over Sam Darnold. If you're not sure how much that backfired, J.J. will be home this weekend watching his city burn, while Sam Darnold has the week off after leading the Seahawks to the best record in the NFL, which is why I'm happy to announce Renee Good was hired as the new Vikings GM, because just like him, she's brain dead.
Oh, wow.
Shame too. She's going to miss out on Geno's Picks annual six-pick wild card bonanza, which unlike Sam and Good, you're not going to want to pass on. Now, in honor of that Disney bitch, I will try to run down these 6 picks as quickly as possible.
In honor of.
My first pick, the Panthers are getting 10 and a hook from the Rams in Carolina. Never was the phrase, nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina, used more than it was by the Rams this past week, as they knew the moment they saw the Falcons defeat the Saints on Sunday, that they would get to travel to Charlotte to face the 8-9 Panthers, who would be 7-10 and out of the playoffs had they not shocked the Rams in week 13. Got to figure the Rams are far happier to be facing Bryce Young, who's about as familiar with the playoff pressure as Renee Good is with defensive driving. Still dead. Thank Christ. Hey, for what it's worth, right now she's up in heaven listening to the Rams. Thank God they didn't have to face Baker Mayfield, who has a pair of playoff wins under his belt. And they'd rather face an impotent Panthers team who couldn't even get in on their own than a Bucs team that had just beat them on Saturday, only to spend Sunday like an altar boy, getting fucked in the ass while staring at a bunch of Saints letting it happen.
You went there.
Give me the Rams and I'll lay the 10 to hook. My next pick, the Bears are getting 1 hook from the Packers in Chicago. You're telling me that the Bears, who won their division, are with 11 wins, are getting points at home against a 9-win team that hasn't won a game since last year? I'm not saying Vegas is begging you to take the Bears, but the only line crying louder this week will be outside a Minnesota funeral home. Hey, don't cry for her, because the only people making more money than Vegas on this game is her family, who made over $500,000 on their GoFundMe in 15 hours. What the hell did they need all that money for? Her daughter? Please, aren't there a shit ton of daycares in Minnesota? I'm going with the Bears, because those kids are all right. Give me the Bears, and the 1.5 they're getting. My next pick, the Bills are giving 1 hook to the Jags in Duval, whatever that is. The only thing more surprising than the fact Trevor Lawrence is in the playoffs is the fact that Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow are not, which, while it takes plenty of pressure off Lawrence, places it squarely on the shoulders of Josh Allen, because if he can't get to the Super Bowl without those 3 having to go through, he never will. And what really doesn't help is that Lawrence is playing like Mahomes and Jackson this season, I missed the thing, as he owes much of that change to his new head coach, Liam Cohen, under whose leadership he's thrown the fewest percentage of interceptions in his history, which makes sense. I mean, you don't go about bringing in a guy named Cohen who's going to let you give shit away. Jews don't like that. Still, the Bills had a tough road to hoe, and they're here, and they see the light at the end of the tunnel. Give me the Bills in a basic pick 'em, as that is exactly what I see their defense finally doing to Trevor this weekend. Take the Bills, lay the 1 hook. The Niners are getting 5.5 from the Eagles in Philly. That seems like a lot, doesn't it? The last time these two teams met in the playoffs, the Niners lost both their QBs to injury and nearly had to use Christian McCaffrey as a QB. This year, they have a banged-up Brock Purdy starting, who will give them a healthy dose of run CMC. Meanwhile, the Eagles come into the game winning the woeful NFC East division with 11 wins, while the Niners finished third in cutthroat NFC West with 12, which I think gives the Niners the edge. But the real division I'm focused on, clever, in this game is the division in the Eagles locker room. We've heard about it all season. It's caused a lot of problems on and off the field. I mean, I'm so amazed Nick Sirianni got them this far. I think it makes him a modern-day Genghis Khan. Not so much for his team going this far, but he's the only other leader in history with this many chinks in his armor. Niners probably win this one, but they certainly cover. Give me the Niners and the 5 and a hook. The Chargers are getting 3 and a hook from the Pats in Foxborough. Look, you know what I'm doing here. Of course I'm taking the Chargers. But if you want to know why, it would be 99% because I'm a fan and 1% because of the fact that 99% of the Patriots' 14 wins came against teams with a losing record. Okay, technically, 13 of 14 is 93%. But simply put, their only win against the winning team came against Buffalo, first time they played them. Wow, the only person with a softer schedule this past 5 years was Joe Biden. Shit your pants, rinse, repeat. Meanwhile, the Chargers won 10 games this year behind QB Justin Herbert, who's coming off a week's rest, and a defense led by Jesse Minter that also rested most of their players last week and still kept Bo Nix in Denver completely out of the end zone, meaning the Chargers showed the NFL absolutely nothing. In fact, last week, the only way they could have showed them less if they weren't in street clothes would be if they were in burkas. I fucked up that joke, but I don't care. Chargers finally don't charger it up and exercise the ghost of Marty Schottenheimer in 2006. Give me the Chargers and the 3.5 we're getting. Which brings me to the wrap it all up. This was a joke I like. The Texans are giving 3 to the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Not sure if you believe in conspiracy theories, but apparently before the Ravens-Steelers Sunday game, the line for the game was leaked out on this one on DraftKings with the Texans laying 1.5. And this isn't because the NFL is scripted. It's because Vegas was happy people focused on the Photoshop rather than the bigger picture. The fact that the last time the Steelers lost at home on Monday night was October 14th, 1991 to your G-Men, Steve, falling 23-20 before winning 23 straight. Now, there is an asterisk because they did lose an afternoon game in 2020 to the Commanders, the year they were called the Washington football team because of the flu, the year they called it COVID. 5 years later, that asterisk is the only risk that was associated with that game, which is the only thing I like better. The Steelers getting points in this game is their QB didn't get the backs during that time. Did C.J. Stroud? You tell me. The guy was a freshman at Ohio State in the Big Ten the year they tried to cancel that league. I'm not saying that will affect him, but unlike Stroud, the Steelers have a legitimate shot. Give me the Steelers and the 3 they're getting. That's the bonanza.
Woo, Geno! You're doing great, Geno.
Thank you, honey. That's real. Okay, you can stop it. Just
it's over?
It's
okay.
Just hit the.
You did great, Geno.
Okay. Hit the button.
Goodbye.
Oh, hey the fuck, hey. Oh, how's that look? Okay. Fucking new lighting, just throws everything off. And you know, I'm just a perfectionist when it comes to this shit. If it's not perfect, you know, if it's not perfect, you can suck my mule. There you go. Suck
hey,
Max
how's everybody doing?
Damage or something, everyone. How are you, Pedro?
I'm great.
Yes, you are. No one
Hey,
is doubting that.
Look, I'm having a little coffee out of
on.
something that was left here. And this is regular coffee, and not your pan-fried variety, being drank out of some sort of Atlas jar that some hobo left behind.
Oh yeah, that's my. I got plenty more where that came from. Yeah, that was really unique. Thank you so much. I was actually chatting with Loads beforehand, and Jesus Christ! Before I even forget, a nice little $2 super from our boy here, our boy fucking J-Mac Cherry. By the way, J-Mac, am I crazy? It was indeed you, right, J-Mac? They couldn't figure out why we kept calling Amy, take your top off. But wasn't it you, J-Mac Cherry, who said, can you say hi, Frankie, to my friend Amy, take your top off? That said, Pete, my gal, Wendy Stubig loves you. Can you give a shout out and say you love Wendy Dick's Too Big?
Who doesn't love Wendy Dick's Too Big?
Wendy's Dick's Too Big. There you go. Pete's mason jar looks like he was shooting at some food. and up from the ground come a bubbling crude. I get what you're saying, Jay Ham. You haven't lived till you sipped on cold pan-fried coffee out of Geno's recycled Ricotta container. Chef's kiss. I love that Smartass Al's is using the fucking face that my wife made famous. My face has the same lips as Albert Breer. You can't avoid that. That cannot be missed. So yeah, happy fucking Friday. What a fucking week it's been for democracy. What a fucking week it's been for you know, I believe, as you call it, Pete, getting your comeuppance. I'm sorry. I want to start by, but what's that, Pete?
What?
Oh,
what?
sorry, that was me.
Okay.
I'm so good at this. I opened another window and it was me talking on delay. I apologize. And I thought you were talking. Go on, Pete.
Trump is meeting with the oil execs right now. So
right.
He filled them in that they weren't, briefly, he filled them in they weren't getting any of the oil from these captured tankers, but they would start to get the oil basically when they got in there and started, I guess, pumping it out on their own. So that's going on right now.
So sorry, Peter, I had to get something from my tushy, big brother. I'm sorry. So meeting with oil, because the chair, I'm sitting on your Aunt August chair, you know, the one I got because I'm the only one that can sit on it without breaking it. Jesse James says hi. And I had to walk away, but so he's meeting with like what countries and stuff?
No countries, oil executives.
From our people, like ExxonMobil and stuff, right?
Yeah,
or no?
That's my understanding. Because he wants them to go into Venezuela and actually operate the wells and such. And I'm not sure, and I'm sure people in the chat know, because apparently back in the day when we actually, I guess, followed the Monroe Doctrine ever, but people called it imperialism.
You didn't get a call from Trump because I heard a rumor because you're an expert on some deep drilling.
I must have missed the call somehow.
with his dick, with his penis. He goes deep drilling. I believe you have you're called Touch Bottom Industries. Am I right, Pete?
Well, you just keep going.
He's doing Seinfeld, the beltless trench coat. Yeah. Point your camera, Peter. Look at how I am centered.
I got it.
Pete, do I ever yell at you like you're like?
No, is that better?
Well, you're off to the left. If you want to keep the Trump flag, Pete, if you want, you got to move a little if you want to keep your.
Yeah.
I mean,
there you go. I'm centered now.
Yeah, you're good, Loads. You're good. So they're meeting with all the oil companies. They left out deep drilling Peter from Touch Bottom Industries just to see how the oil gets doled out. Because am I correct in saying, and a lot of people are like, oh, it's all about the oil. It's not just about the oil. You're naive to think oil isn't involved. But the oil involved is oil that they are, sending to China, sending to Russia, evading embargoes. They're basically stealing from us and, from their people as well as ours. Or am I saying that wrong?
No, I just think, if that oil was going to go to China and Russia, why would we let that happen? Why would we let China and Russia get involved with a country in South America, off our neighbors, when we can stop it? You see, that's the difference.
Right.
That's the difference with those countries in Western Europe, like France and England. They either can't or won't do anything to stop what Russia's doing in the Ukraine. Their neighbors. We can handle our business.
As not only them, but the weak administration before, no, this guy's bad. We're gonna up it. Trump made it 50 million. We're gonna up it to 25 million and do shit and do nothing and act like just what they do. Oh, look what we did. We said we raised it more. You did nothing. So can we not even include? Am I wrong to include the previous administration in that, as you would call it, bullshit?
Yeah, because everybody, as far as I recall, Democrats, Republicans, countries in Western Europe, and we talked about this, none of them believed Maduro was legitimately elected or legitimately made the leader of Venezuela. But again, they use the same voting machines we use, but none of them will say, how come, when you ask, well, he got elected, they had voting machines, people went to vote. What do you mean? How was he not the duly elected leader of Venezuela if they had people voting?
Do you think they're ever going to get to that, though? Because I remember when
no, I mean, and they have other.
What's that?
They could have other excuses. Well, they kept people from the polls. They didn't let certain people vote. They threatened you if you vote a certain way. They could have all those things. But at least let's hear it. Let's hear why their election of Maduro was not legitimate. I have not heard specific reasons. All I've heard is, yeah, he's not really the leader because there's something wrong with the election. But I want to hear what's wrong with it.
Well,
by the way, new pipes are. These people are fantastic. By the way, I read something, and maybe people in the chat have heard this. There's like one article, who knows, that Venezuela, like a bunch of oil tankers, for lack of a better word, like a dozen maybe, left Venezuela right after we got Maduro out, under like different flags or with no flags, trying to get the oil out to like China, Russia, or somewhere not here. And so far, we have taken 3 of those tankers.
Yeah, I heard that they had one under a Russian flag. So like, oh, we invaded a Russian tanker. No, they were hiding under a false flag, so to speak. You know, saying, oh, we're Russian, leave us alone. And we're like, no. And America's like, no, you're fucking not, right?
There you go, push up. So he banned opposition. All right. There's a legitimate reason that it wasn't legitimate. I know that it was an illegitimate election. But there was someone else on the ballot, right? There was somebody other than Maduro you could vote for. Or am I wrong? I could be wrong. Who the hell knows? Yeah, we got one with a Russian flag, and then we just got another one today. We've gotten 3 of them. The one today we got, the oil tanker we got today, I think, had the Russian flag. Is it me,
or do you sound a little staticky? Does Pete sound staticky? Please say it's me. And I apologize. It's just bugging me a little bit. But again, everything seems off kilter with my
I'm 100% with you. I'm hoping this arrest has more to do with the 2020 election than anything else. I mean, I don't know, did people in here see the interview Laura Logan did with, I can't even remember the guy's name now, former CIA. He named people, places, dates, times. He traced the whole Dominion voting system back to the original Smartmatic system that was developed in Venezuela to make sure Chavez got elected. And then from there, it went all over the world, and it was backed by Cuba. Anybody else see that Laura Logan interview? Your cousin Steven's reading the book. So it's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, a book like it's so funny how I've been talking about that book so much lately, Malcolm Gladwell's Blink, because that's another thing I talk about in my act, and this is what I was thinking today as I walked, and I had some things like, of course, I did my normal walk around the track, enjoy my coffee, do a little rosary, and I make fun during my act. It's not even fun, but in my act I talk about how, you know, they make it harder to go out and laugh, and by that I mean they make it easier to not leave your house. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with books now. You know, there's nothing better than sitting and reading a book. And I'm not being hypocritical when I say that, because I'm the first to make fun of me. You know what I mean? Like, I know you still read a lot, don't you, big brother? Like, you do. God bless you. You know, I read a lot of online shit, which is fine. But there's something about sitting and reading a book. It's better than an audio book. It's, you know, it's better than fucking listening to fucking YouTube news stories. It is. And I feel like that makes us a little softer in the brain as well. Thoughts?
I think I can't even remember the last book I read now because my eyes bother me. So I like listening on tape. I have one of the, oh my God, the Killing Book. I have a Killing book I got for Christmas I want to read. And I can't remember which one it is. It might be his latest one. Glue Gloom, we're on the same page with, I think that's what I heard too. That's why Elon said, no, this one isn't going to get overturned because we have everything. He knew that night. It wasn't because the Republicans were messing with the election. It's because they weren't let anybody mess with the election. I remember election night, there were places that like wanted to stop counting or ran out of ballots or were going to shut down. And immediately the lawyers were there. That ain't happening this time. Hakeem Jeffries is trying to call him from warning him. Oh, and again, it's sad that the the president, the executive branch, can't inform Congress of what they want to do because they know people like Jeffries or somebody will leak. That's sad. That is just sad. But yeah, I've read all the Gladwell books. I've read them all. I've enjoyed all of them. I can't hear you at all, Gene. So I don't know if you kicked your mic or what you did, but I can't hear you. Can't hear you, Gene.
How about now?
Yeah, good
Better?
now. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, my mic just went out. The light goes out. I could give two fucks. Thank you for keeping it down. Sorry about the. So is this true? What we're reading?
What's that?
Fucking like I've heard this rumor. I don't want to believe it's true. I mean, I do because I know he's a piece of shit. But I heard he tried calling Maduro to warn him, and I've heard there's certain people involved on both sides, and one of them is Rand Paul. And Rand Paul again was in that vote today. One of the 5 Republicans who voted against Trump being able to fucking do whatever the fuck he's doing. Like it really is suspicious. It breaks my heart. Although actually it doesn't, because Rand Paul talked all this shit about fucking calling out Fauci and did COCK dick about it. But circling all the way back through that, have you heard this? And I'm sure you have. Is it verifiable? It's not, right? It can't be.
This is the first I've heard that Hakeem Jeffries tried to call him. So I didn't even think Hakeem Jeffries knew what was going on. So I haven't heard that. So I can't comment on it. This is the first I'm hearing about it. Okay, push-ups. Yeah, then, well, if that's what happened, push-ups, then he just flat out stole the election. Like, that's ridiculous. That's insane. And I believe the one opposition candidate he banned, is that the woman who won the Nobel Peace Prize? I'm almost positive she was going to run and she got banned. They put somebody in her stead. And okay, so he declared her, declared the other guy's votes fraudulent. Unbelievable. As far as Rand Paul, you know what? You're not going to agree with everybody on everything. I totally disagree with his vote limiting Trump's whatever, military, whatever it was with Venezuela and all that. Yeah, I disagree with that. Yet everything he said during COVID, I agreed with 100%. He was spot on. You know what I mean? And I believe if he hadn't gone after Fauci the way he did during COVID, you wouldn't have the outrage you have now against Fauci. He's the one who led that. You know what I mean? He's the one who led that move again. None of the other ones did.
Yeah, but Peter, is it wrong to say, yeah, he led that movement, but it's like Fox News. It's controlled opposition. It's like, yeah, there's good guys and bad guys. He's sitting there fucking leading that movement while he's fucking lining his pockets with Venezuelan fucking kickbacks. I'm not saying that happened, but I'm saying I can see that going on. I don't trust any of these fucking Amy, take your top off daters.
And
what?
Nothing. Not gonna even. How amazing you are! How blessed.
What do you want me to call them?
What was it? I rumble ran at a legit question for Max when he's able to. I didn't see his rumble rant.
Oh yeah, but I was waiting. No, I saw it. I was waiting for you to get done with it. There you go. Sorry, I'll page down. Jeff Hillman asked, serious legit, either one. Civics question for Max. How does an idea become a law without going into the schoolhouse rock? Like, what are the steps? If I wanted all stop signs to be purple, for example, how would I get that into law? You couldn't put the E on B? It's not like you didn't, it wasn't becoming, it was B. Anyway, go on.
So it really, I mean,
by the way, he's a Canadian, so don't feel bad that he doesn't know it. He lives in a shithole.
Oh, by the way, speaking of, I'm watching How I Met Your Mother. The kids got me watching it, and it is actually funny. I'm going to say it's legitimately funny. I enjoy it more than Friends. I didn't like Friends. There's no way they could afford to live in New York. We're not going to get into it. Not getting into all the bullshit of rent controlled and all that happy horse shit. Didn't really like Friends. This How I Met Your Mother is pretty good. And one character is Canadian. They did a whole thing last night where they went back to Canada or whatever because she's going to get dual citizenship. Okay, so it is to get something to become a law is basically, as I understand it and what I've read and taught and seen, it is as straightforward as I'm just a bill, the Schoolhouse Rock video goes. If you have an idea and you can get it to one of your members of Congress, and that member of Congress then writes that idea into a bill to become a potential law, like, hey, we want purple stoplights. Here's why we want purple stoplights. Here's why we think they'd be a good idea. Here's all the problems we've had. And they make it a bill. Then that bill actually makes it to the floor of the House of Representatives. First, that bill goes into whatever committee it is, right? House Ways and Means Committee, whatever of those 16 committees there are. And if it gets through the committee, which is just made up of congressmen, the committee votes on it. Okay, we want to put this to the whole House. Then, sadly, it's up to the Speaker of the House to send that vote to the floor. It should go to the whole Congress to debate and vote on. And then if the whole Congress, the House of Representatives, votes on it, then it goes to the Senate. And if they all agree to it unchanged, then it gets passed to the president for his signature. Now, if the Senate makes any changes, then it goes back to the House. They can re-vote on it. If they vote on the Senate bill that was sent back with no changes, it goes to the president. If they can't come to an agreement, they then form, or they're supposed to form, a conference committee, which is members of the Senate, members of the House, to come up with a bill that they think both the House and Senate can vote on. If both the House and Senate vote on that bill and can pass it to the president, gets passed to the president. The same process could happen with a bill starting in the Senate. Okay? Spending bills are the only bills that must start in the House of Representatives. The House of Representatives is where all spending bills are to start. Okay? And then they can go to the Senate, and the Senate can change them or whatever, but the Senate can't start a spending bill. So it's that straightforward. And then if the president vetoes it, and they can come up with, I believe it's 2/3 of the House and I believe 60% of the Senate, they can override the president's veto, and then it passes anyway. That's why this bill they voted on, it's going to limit Trump's power. You know what I mean? It's going to go to his desk. He's going to veto it. And I don't think they have the votes to override his veto.
What do we have to do? And what do we have to do if we want to make Friday with Loads a national holiday? So my boy Smartass Al's can take time off and to be, from work to be in the chat, Pedro.
It would be the same process. And I can imagine it would get through with no problems. I mean, you spend 5 minutes watching Gene make his filthy jokes. Who's not going to want to have a day off for this?
It's a good time. By the way, shout out to our boy fucking J-Mac Cherry. I really think Amy should take her top off. I think she's on a date with that gentleman right now. And that fine, upstanding citizen.
Did you meet the guy?
No, he didn't come. He didn't come in Harlem. He's a black guy with money.
So that's how the bill becomes a law.
There you go. Thank you for that. That's the Canadian education segment of the show. What's that, Pete?
It is pretty straightforward, and the problem is it gets all convoluted with, whoever the Speaker of the House is. If they don't want to put it on the floor, I don't think they sort of control what bills that come out of committee actually get put on the floor to vote on. And then in the Senate, again, the bill goes to the Senate. They can filibuster it and never bring it to a vote, which is a problem. So like the SAVE Act that would fix voting in federal elections, by fix, I don't mean set it for one side or the other. It would solve the problems we have with federal elections. That act has been passed by the House, and the Senate can't get it to the floor for a vote. That's insane. And basically, you have to show ID to vote, paper ballots, and I believe same-day voting are the three major components of that. I mean, and that can't get a vote in the Senate. It's already passed the House. So we got to get rid of the filibuster. The filibuster is a Senate rule, not a constitutional rule. The Senate decided we're going to have this 60-vote minimum to be able to actually get a vote to the floor, which is disgraceful, I think.
The problem, the weakening of the rules since the 70s is the problem. That I even get. Shout out, Gabe, because you're the one that said, rather than do it, like, I want to filibuster it. How gay is that? That's like the intentional walk rule. Walk him. Now, you got to throw 4 pitches. One might be 2 inside and he might hit it. One might go over the catcher's head. Throw the 4 fucking pitches.
Yes, push-ups and short. Congress passes it, the president signs it. And if the president doesn't sign it, and Congress can get enough votes, they can override the presidential veto, and it passes every way. J-Ham, I agree with you.
Really. I don't give a fuck about how the laws become made. Let's talk about the laws that are being broken now. Is that fair?
I want to say, I agree with J-Ham, but I feel like we're saying the same thing in a different way. Yeah, it was weakening of the rules, so now it's just a joke. That's why you got to get rid of it. Either bring the old rules back, which the NFL should do. The NFL should just, you want to be good? I told you, the XFL should have said, here's how we're going to do it. Get out the 1985 NFL rulebook. Let's go.
Thank you, gay bitches. What's the 1995 NFL rulebook,
85.
Pete?
85.
I'll tell you what 85 is. No instant replay. You and your instant replay. Garbage. It's all garbage. I'm watching old Charger fucking games, and they're like, yeah, 2 weeks ago, who was it? God, why can't I think of it? I can't think of names anymore, and I didn't even take statins. Who's the fucking guy? Ed Hockley. Ed Hockley was in the wrong position. He felt bad, but it cost the Chargers the game. And it will keep getting worse. We'll keep encouraging refs to be out of position and like, oh, it's always a fumble. It's always a fumble. Why? Because then we can look at the replay and decide if it's a fumble. But then if it's close, you can't overturn it. It's the fucking downfall of fucking football. I've said it. Okay. But enough about that. But there you go, Gabe. Pete would not agree with you there. Pete would not agree with you on that one, Gabe. I can assure you of that.
Well, I don't like that, by the way. As long as the fans are warm, I don't care if those dipshits want to play in sub-zero temperatures. Good for them. But the fans shouldn't be subjected to that insanity. Okay?
I disagree. Because some fans look, I say this all the time.
They can sit outside. Then they can sit outside. They can have one section of the stadium for retards and one section of the stadium for people who want their fucking face to fall off.
Nope.
Okay? Now, these are no one would want. I will that. By the way,
then don't go, Peter. The NFL makes its money no matter what.
Right,
and what?
Don't go.
I'm not talking over you. I've had it. I've had it.
Go ahead.
No, Pete. Does the NFL make its money either way? Are you gonna? You're a smart man. You're gonna debate that sentence. Okay, then why would you interrupt when I'm saying it's gonna make its money either way?
I didn't interrupt that.
Okay, then what was I saying that you would? NFL's gonna make its money either way. And my question to you is, because you're a smart man, I love your answers and I value your opinion. Do you think the NFL fucking has a better image if it has men and fans showing up in the cold, or if they faggot it up and say, hey, we're all playing in these warm stadiums? Okay. There's a reason, Pete. If Lambeau Field, if Green Bay said, hey, we're going to have an indoor stadium with heated seats and concierge service, how do you think that would reflect on the NFL? You could say faggot. I don't mind.
No, I don't think it. How would it reflect on the NFL? To me, see, this is where people are different. For you, it would reflect poorly on the NFL. For me, it would be like, hey, the NFL's finally giving the fan what they pay for. You pay $1,000 for a fucking seat, and you sit out and freeze your balls off. So it's just two different points of view, Gene. I'm not telling you wrong. I'm not telling you wrong. But I don't see it the same way. I see I'd be getting what I pay for as a fan. If I'm going to pay $1,000, I don't want to sit in the fucking cold.
Then don't go. They don't, Peter. They don't need you. Don't go.
There's no argument. You want to make it an argument where there is none.
How does Peter sound to anyone else? Because you sound garbly to me, and I guarantee a 99% chance it's me. I apologize, Pete. 99% chance.
Yeah, let me know if I'm garbly. But
yeah,
I'm just telling you.
Okay, please say yes. Please say yes, because I really don't mind it being me. Why would we okay? But that's my point.
Because I wanted to say. Go ahead.
No.
Now, all I'm saying is there's no argument to be had. You believe people want to pay $1,000 to sit in the cold and freeze their balls off. I'm not one of those people, and you're right. Those people who don't want to pay $1,000, those people who don't want to pay $1,000 to go freeze their balls off don't have to. And that's fine. Agreement. That's fine. That's life. That's how anything is. That's all. It's not an argument. Just what it is. I see it differently than you do. That's all. No big deal. No big deal. Do I enjoy watching?
While you were talking, big brother.
Do I enjoy watching?
Is that better?
Do you want me to take this mic?
His mic is like it's under his hood, muffled.
Oh, is that better?
Hold on. I mean, it's definitely better.
Okay.
He's wearing some fucking prep hoodie because his wife.
Because I'm in the garage and it's a little chilly.
What's that?
It's in the garage. It's a little chilly. How's that?
I guess that's better. We'll find out. Where did that mason jar go?
Oh, here.
If anyone knows how Pete sounds when he's gargling, it'd be wait a minute.
Right. You want me to just switch to the other mic? I can switch to the other mic. If it's
bad, this sounds better. Yeah, that's a lot better. I'm sorry I didn't point it out first, people. I'm sorry, my bad.
So, all I was saying was it's just a difference of opinion. I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm right. I don't feel like, as a fan, and I don't have to go. Yes, the NFL is going to get it The NFL is going to get its money either way. No disagreement. I'm
Right.
not going to pay all that money to go sit and freeze my balls off. Somebody else will. That's fine. I'll tell you this. I agree with whoever said the best way to watch a game is sit and watch in your house, 85-inch TV. I will say this. Do I enjoy watching a playoff game that is affected by the elements? I hate it. I hate it. I hate watching a game where there's 45-mile-an-hour fucking winds. I hate it. I don't know what I'm watching. I hate golfing in those conditions. I don't think that's good for the – but I get it. It's football. That's just my opinion. By the way, that reminds me, it all comes back to Wes Chandler and Notre Dame. I was thinking about that. I've told you this, right?
Yeah.
When I was a kid and Wes Chandler signed with the Chargers, he's like, he had it in his contract. He can't be traded to any team that doesn't play where the temperature is like 60 degrees. I'm like, what a pussy move. As I thought about it, I'm like, this fucking guy's a genius. If I could say, hey, I can work anywhere where it's under 80 degrees, why wouldn't I do that? And I feel the same way with Notre Dame. If these other fucking teams could do what Notre Dame does independent, make all that money, they'd fucking do it. And I'm going to tell you, I can't believe more aren't going to head that route with what's going on now. I think we might see more teams become independent. So,
by the way, J-Mac Cherry has the answer, Pete. It's like, why don't we donate pink blankets for all the NFL fans, Pete? And good news, only used once.
Okay. See how we do here.
Sammy, take your top off. He's a pro, Pete. He doesn't miss.
See how we do here. Everybody comes around and we agree to either disagree. But that's it. So I don't, you know what I mean? And instant replays, I think they should just draw it back to checking for touchdowns. Don't have it for anything else. Or, by the way, I posited, were you there when I got into the argument with Nick?
With your kid? No.
Are you sure? Because we're watching an NBA game. And it's like the fouls. There are always these fouls. And I said, you know what I'd like to see the NBA do once? Preseason game. You have an official at the table. That's it.
Oh, yeah. And let them make their own calls. It would never work in football. It would never
call your own.
And by the way, we agreed about that, but go on, Pete.
Right, if you call your own, you call it, it goes to the table, they look at the replay. If you're wrong, the other team shoots free throws. And that's it.
I thought if you're wrong, they go over your arrest area and record, and one of those coons has gone to jail and you're down. You have to play with 4 guys. That's what you said, right? I'm
quite certain you may have said that. I didn't say that. And to just say it wouldn't work in the NFL because you don't want it to, God forbid you see, that was why Christie 1 was good. Because people told Christie 1, you can't do that, the world's going to end. And he said, go fuck yourself, I'm going to do it, and let's see. Some things work, some didn't. It's an NFL preseason game. Where's the harm in doing it? Guess what? You know what it would do? It show, hey, Gene was right. Pete's a dumb fuck. It doesn't work. You know what I mean? You don't know until you do it.
The NFL, Peter, again, the NFL makes money no matter what, and we both agree on it. And it's not even worth, because what is the added benefit? Here's my question, Loads. What is the added benefit to the NFL by trying that? Or are you only saying basketball now?
No, the added benefit is to be something different, and you can see how it goes. If you're all fed up with penalties,
the only different fans want in the NFL, I would argue, is fucking less flags and less instant replay. I would argue that's what they want. Oh, and they
agree.
Want more gambling if that's possible. Am I wrong?
I don't know how you could have more gambling.
I don't know. But trust me, Peter. You want to know how you have more gambling? And I think this is brilliant. Did you see what DraftKings is doing? It's called Pass the Leg.
What? What is it?
It's called Pass the Leg. It's brilliant. You know, like if it's what a 3-leg, 8-leg parlay is, right?
Yes.
So Pete, I take my phone, right? Dick pic, not my dick. I grab my phone and I say, I think the Chargers are going to win, are going to cover the 3.5 or whatever. That's about I put in. And then I say parlay, and I text it to you, and you say, yes, I think the Chargers are going to win, and I'm going to add that Justin Herbert has 275 or more passing yards. And then you text it to Keanu, and Keanu's like, and I think, the Seattle primary colors are going to win by 3 or less on Monday night. And then they say, who's that? And I say the Steelers. And then they send it to Nick, and they just keep, and then the whole family puts in an 8-leg or 3-leg parlay. Yeah, thank you. That's how you got to say it's when it's past the leg. So, Peter, they found, am I wrong? Is it not brilliant? Did they not find another way to gamble, big brother?
How do you still have to win every leg of the parlay to win?
I love how you cotton to all of us, Pete. Yes, you have to win every leg of the parlay, and you probably win more than 2 legs, but everyone gets involved.
Right, but if let's say your 3 legs win, and my leg is wrong, but Nick's leg is right. Do Nick and you win and I lose? Or do we all lose?
No, Peter. It means Vegas wins and we all lose. It's one bet.
Okay.
You get it, Ange, it's one bet, and we all fucking combine on it. But it's like it's another way to gamble. It's like, oh, I got to see if Pete likes, and then you bond over it. Like they're already like John Hamm.
Bond over it. You would rip me a new asshole if my leg was the one that cost us the bet. There's no bonding. There's no bonding. We already argue over everything anyway. I thought Arroyo was going to get a touchdown that game.
Yeah, but Peter, that's fucking it. That's even better. You just added to the. Yeah, thank you, Easy Street. It's genius. By the way, Easy Street Consigliere is.
I do. I you know what? I'm disgusted
Peter,
with myself.
Can you explain to them why our fucking little cousin Jeff, who's not little, I love him so much. Can you explain why I used to say my little cousin, he just graduated from, I almost said JMU, Franklin Marshall, playing football. Why is he called the Easy Street Consigliere? By the way, he thinks we're both correct. The NFL pussifies every stadium. It'll become an even more pussified. That said, I don't want to sit in a stadium. Yeah, I agree with all that. But Peter, explain the name Easy Street Consigliere, please, and thank you.
So, my cousin Jeff, I work with once a week, law firm. He now moved his office into what was his grandmother's house, my aunt's, Gina's aunt's house, which was across. I got to all these stupid things you've done, which is across the street.
Escaping them, Pete.
Which is across the street from where Gina and I grew up. And I would come up with all these inventions, and I would tell my dad one day, one of these inventions is going to hit, and they're going to change the name from Garden Road to Easy Street. We're going to be living at 1739 Easy Street. So that is where he now works on Garden Road. So that's where the Easy Street comes from. And I was embarrassed when he said, "You didn't know that was me?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Didn't you think about Easy Street?" I'm like, "I did." But I'm like, "I'm sure there's other people who thought they were going to live on Easy Street." And well,
of hilarity, welcome. He's in and out a lot. Our good friend Jackson Pizza Hog. I don't know about you guys, but I, for one, I love Jackson Pizza Hog. Some days I'll wake up and I'll just want to be around Jackson Pizza Hog. Sometimes I'll call Jackson. No, that's not it. Sometimes I'm like, what would you rather be doing? Hanging around Jackson Pizza Hog? I'd rather be hanging out Jackson Pizza Hog. At any rate,
yes,
Jackson Pizza Hog sent us a video clip of the birthday boy doing comedy. Would you like to see this? I sure the fuck would. Here we go.
Can't hear it, Gene. Might just be me.
God damn it. Talk to him, Pete. Thank you.
So Lou is correct. That was the beginnings of Easy Street. The Studs McCorney that never really took off. Big St. Bernard, stuffed St. Bernard with the barrel would have condoms in it. That was in the mid-'80s when AIDS was all over and you needed to have that, safe sex.
What are you talking about?
I'm explaining where the Easy Street started. It was with Studs McCorney. Look, just make sure you get the fucking sound right and give the rest of us a break.
To do with me. It's shout out, sweet thing. It's got nuts. Studs McCorney never took off. Spuds McKenzie was a girl dog. All right, here we go. And it's not my fault. It just it loses screen share audio. It happens to everyone. I don't care.
Welcome to the Curtis John Comedy Birthday Special Extravaganza.
Here we
go. I'm so damn fat. When I was in Tennessee, the fucking Bears locked up their food and trash for me. What is Geno's favorite room to be in at the apartment? The closet, because he's gay.
Why do they like that so much?
Boy Spice, because she's got a dick. Did you hear that Pete is hung like a newborn baby? His hog is 7 pounds, 10 ounces, and 22.5 inches long. You know what Maxine Load's favorite thing in college was? Holding Tudix. What's the difference between the KKK and this gigger nets it? The KKK doesn't say nigger as often. Trees and Amy take your top off have in common. They both really love black dicks. You know how much Texan Patrick P hates blacks? The other day he saw his own shadow and yelled, "Stop following me, nigger." What do you call Sweet Lou Monaco on a bike with a fingernail file? A pedal file.
I love the wink. This is outstanding.
He got all of us.
He did. That is top-notch stuff.
Let the record show Lou Monaco was his closer.
Yeah, I love the wink. I love the wink at the end.
The what?
He winks at the end.
Come on.
Huh?
Call Sweet Lou Monaco on a bike with a pedal file.
Look at his. Yeah, he gives a wink.
It was a malfunction. Hold on.
A pedal file.
That's absolutely a wink. This guy hits the nuances of it, the subtleties, a top-notch job.
I guess it is. Look, I'm trying to free. Oh,
yeah, there it is.
Peter, my God, no one is doubting his skills, but I love that. Jesus. It's like, Geno's a good guy. And they just go at Lou. You're a pedophile. You have STDs. It's like, what the fuck? Because you're a normal person, Lou. It's not going to make sense to you.
By the way,
Yeah.
I'm all over IU tonight.
Really?
Oh, the Hoosiers, absolutely. And then I don't even care who wins the championship. I can be happy with the U or IU. Either way is good with me. Really. I like them both.
By the way, Curtis John, I lost. I put that bet in for you. It couldn't have been more wrong. He threw me 10. I only had 7 in the account to put on it. I should take a peek at that. Let's put it. Actually,
Really?
let's do this on DraftKings while we haven't even touched upon the great stuff that I wanted to shit on today. But
know,
yeah,
we can, out of the 4.
I'm sorry, Pete. What?
Yeah, I said out of the 4 teams that were left, the only team I don't want to see win it is Oregon. I'd have been good with Ole Miss, and that kid got rejected. The quarterback there, Chambliss. I guess he's gone in the draft. Yeah, they rejected. He wanted a 6th or 7th year of eligibility, and the NCAA said no. So I guess he's gone in the draft.
Oh, real? Yeah, he wanted good. Fucking 6 years of fucking eligibility did wonders for fucking Dylan Gabriel. Am I right?
Yeah, you got all your eligibility left.
Who?
You have all your eligibility left if you want to go back.
What sport would I what do you think is a greater accomplishment at the collegiate level? You won I give it to you. You won an actual tennis match in college. You didn't even play tennis, right?
Correct. Just learned to play.
The only time, and because it was 800 years ago, I'm old. But I remember when you did it, I was telling fucking everyone, like, what a tennis match. Guy's an athlete, right? What were you? They were missing a guy and you played that one time, or you explain?
Yes, I was. So when I got to college, we'd never played tennis.
Go on.
We'd never played tennis. So my wife taught me how to play tennis. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Gene. You can't help yourself. Go ahead. I'll wait. The whole stream wants to hear your witty rejoinders to me learning how to play tennis.
The forearm smash.
So
you know, Pete taught her the 5-arm. That's what he's got. You can't. I'm trying to get a nice story, and he's like, "My wife taught me how to play tennis." I
guess it was senior year. There was they run in the tennis team was in the van, and I was just walking over to play tennis with her, and they're like, "Get in the van. We need six singles."
Sorry, baby.
I can't believe she's still with you after last evening. That got testy, very testy at the end. At any rate,
don't get me started on that piece of shit because
I got in the van. Actually, I asked Chris, I'm like, should I go? She's like, yeah, go play with it. I got in the van. I had a Roy Rogers wristband on. I get in the van and I go.
You had a what?
Roy Rogers wristband.
Oh, Roy Rogers. Okay.
I look like a mental patient. I get in the van, and I'm like, all right.
You didn't always look this normal, Peter?
Yeah, I go, and this kid's trying to hit winners and stuff, and I'm just running all over returning it. Just dropping serves in, and he was losing his mind trying to hit winners, and I'm just trying to get everything back over the net, and he wound up losing. And I was like, this is incredible.
So
but it was
on record somewhere.
No.
I know it happened. I'm like, he needed the money. Like, that's not on record anywhere.
No, and technically neither college still exists because at the time it was Beaver, which is now Arcadia. Yeah, it gets better and better, which is now Arcadia.
Like, my wife told me how to play tennis, and then so I was ready to beat Beaver.
Because I knew someday it would come to this.
While I was playing tennis, my wife was scouting Beaver.
I'm not even going to answer you because it's none of what I said is false. It's insane. It's silly, and it's one of those things that just it was so long ago.
Right.
Like the 80s, I barely remember. The 90s are a blur. The early 2000s were just raising kids. And they tell me things happened. I coached all those different things. And now it's all just, how am I going to kill time today?
Yeah. Oh, please. That's Peter. My life's been killing time without kids forever. Peter, what's your favorite Black history book? Isn't it Little Black Sambo?
I don't know of any Black. To me, there's just history books. So what would a Black history book be? I don't know.
If you've never walked through the hood just like Bjorn Borg. Now, my collegiate achievement.
I guess my favorite Black history book would be, I don't know, something by the Peanut. Who George Washington Carver. I don't know.
You meant Franklin from Peanuts. That's how lost I am.
Or Harriet Tubman and how she had the Tubway going.
This just in from the wife. What's that? All right, what? Well, they can't hear you. What?
He goes, Matt was texting me. He's like, I've been downstairs at Bill's parents' house for 4 hours. I said, maybe you should check on him. Are his parents there? He was like, no. He's like, he's just sleeping. So then he just called me and he went to go wake him up. And it was literally like he was dead. And then he goes, oh!
Yeah, Bill does that.
And then he goes, how long have I been asleep? I only wish I could fucking recorded it. Oh, Bill.
He probably trained for many years at the country club. Okay, what do you think is a greater achievement? And I think it's yours, but I, at the University of Delaware, me and my boys won the intramural softball league.
That's a greater achievement.
I don't think so.
I do.
Because again, oh God,
he was like,
because
is alive. We think that's as close. By the way, this screen grab makes it look like he has a picture of Keanu in his house, doesn't it? That's fucking hysterical. It's like he's dreaming, like sleeping soundly under a picture of Keanu.
Because here's the thing.
So funny. What's that, buddy?
We also won the intramural softball at Cabrini, but I think there were only 4 or 5 teams.
Right.
And that was more difficult than winning the tennis match with only 4 or 5 teams.
See, I disagree.
And at Delaware, you had actual athlete. I shouldn't say Cabrini, we didn't, but at Delaware, you had a lot more teams and a lot more competition. So I really think that might be.
Well, I think winning at Delaware is better than winning at Cabrini, but I'm not blowing smoke. I mean, you beat a guy that's an say what you want. He's an NCAA athlete. You know what I mean?
We don't know.
We won the XFL. You're playing in the pros. You know what I mean?
Listen. Back then, let's not go.
That's that same painting in my room of my wife. Sorry, Pete, go on. That's great.
Let's not paint it for anything more than it was. How do we know that poor kid wasn't walking down? They say, let's go. We need a 6 singles. For all I know, he wasn't legit either.
Peter, he was. Oh, hold on. I missed a couple fun super chats. Oh, Curtis John is back. He was gone for a while. There was some guy named Jackson Pete's Hog here. I love Jackson Pete's Hog. I can't get enough of Jackson Pete's Hog. J-Mac Cherry, we need to have Frankie say hi to Pete Scott Big One. Oh, Pete Scott a big one. Gobble, gobble. Can we get Pete a good camera so he stops looking like Marge Simpson with the blue hair? That's his actual hair. Why you got to be like that, Gobbler?
I know. Jeez, I know. It's all over for me.
Please.
I don't remember. I do not remember the name of the guy. And no, does my hair look blue? Does it? That's terrible.
Hold on. Let's take a peek. Not really.
It's really just gray. What am I supposed to do? Is it? I can't even tell.
Do you remember the name of the guy you beat off?
No, clown.
His comeback was no comma clown. More of this shit. I'm sorry. Here we go. I know Sunday night is Patriots versus the Good Guys, but will you be streaming the 83rd annual Golden Globes? Just asking. Nikki Glazer had a shot at those Golden Globes. There's a clip running around on an old episode of Kid Chris. What else we got? Curtis John, all I want is a text thread of Pete, Geno, and I. We can all dream. Oh, Curtis, I'll start that.
Yeah. Hey, wait.
I'm gonna what you fucking wish for, my man. What's that, Pete?
By the way, this guy Gabe told me I just need to warm my lighting, so I can warm my lighting, I believe, because it gives me that option.
He gives me warm as lightning rod.
No, Gene, it's warm, not lightning. Stupid lighting.
Oh, my bad.
It usually is. Here we go. I don't.
All of a sudden, there's a C. Van Woodward's book, The Strange Career of Jim Crow, which MLK took out and read from in Selma. There's a Negro in American history. There's the Negro in American history, which Malcolm X read in prison. There's also one Pete wrote called I Wish the Negro Was American History, right, Pete? Oh, I'll do it again. Pete wrote a book called This American Wishes the Negro Was History.
That's not funny.
He laughs like dad. Easy Street. He laughs like your Uncle Angelo.
There we go.
I've got a warm rod.
Vibrance. Let's see. More vibrant. No, less vibrant.
All right.
More vibrant.
Now, let me ask you some shit about this bitch in Minnesota, Pete, okay?
All right.
Now, first thing that I need to ask you is, people are like, well, the guy, I need to ask you. Okay, so a lot of people, I've heard, and I know it's not true, but please confirm for me, or maybe, the ICE agent has every right to arrest her, right? Like dumb people, like I shouldn't even say dumb. Maybe I'm the dumb person that doesn't realize they don't. But they're like, no, they have no. Aren't they federally appointed? Like they have no right. They had no right to tell that woman to get out of the car and arrest her. Is that true or false?
I believe that's false. I mean, they're enforcing the law. They're federal law. They're agents of the federal government, law enforcement agents, legitimate, doing their job. I compare it to when they have, if the traffic stop, like, you know, they have their drunk driving traffic stop sometimes on New Year's Eve or whatever. And
I'm kidding.
And if you decide, fuck this, I'm just going to run the cop over. No, you can't do that because you disagree with that it's illegal, it's violating search and seizure rights or whatever.